Most people think being rich looks like a mansion and a car collection, but the actual data says the opposite. The biggest slice of wealthy people on Earth are the ones you'd never suspect from looking at them. Old money. This is wealth passed down through generations, never earned firsthand by the person holding it. Families like the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts built the template. They rarely flaunt anything, choosing instead to quietly own land, fine art, and businesses that outlive them. Their entire philosophy is preservation over display. The goal was never to spend the fortune. It was to hand over something bigger than what they received.
New money looks nothing like that. Someone who built their fortune within their own lifetime, often starting with nothing, tends to want the world to see it. Think Jeff Bezos in the early Amazon years, or any entrepreneur who turned one idea into a windfall. The mansions and the jets aren't always arrogance. Sometimes they're just what it looks like to experience wealth for the first time in your family's history. New money is now the majority, not the exception, quietly outnumbering the dynasties. The tech-rich are new money's fastest offspring, coders and founders who built something in a garage and watched it become worth billions inside a decade, a timeline no oil baron or railroad tycoon ever matched. And here's the twist nobody expects. The wealthier they get, the plainer they tend to dress. Real estate-rich people play a completely different game. They think in decades. Land cannot be manufactured or duplicated, and they know it. One small rental property becomes 2, then 10, compounding quietly for 30 years. There's no viral moment here, no single lucky break, just patience turned into a portfolio. Then there's the celebrity rich, whose money arrives in sudden, violent bursts instead of slow accumulation. A viral song, a blockbuster, a single season can print millions overnight. The ones who survive long-term, like Rihanna building Fenty into something worth more than her music catalog, treat fame as starting capital, not the finish line. Fame fades. What you build with it doesn't have to. Athlete-rich money runs on a countdown clock most other types never face. A career peaks for maybe 10 years, sometimes 15, and then it's over. LeBron James understood this before most, building a media and business portfolio that now out-earns anything he made on a basketball court. The athletes who actually keep their wealth are the ones who quietly stopped treating their playing years as the whole plan. Investor-rich people are almost invisible in their early chapters. Warren Buffett never built a product. He just recognized good businesses and refused to let go of them for decades. There's no flashy moment where the world notices. The money compounds silently in the background until one day the numbers simply cannot be ignored anymore. Crypto-rich is the newest character in this entire cast. Somebody bought a few $100s of Bitcoin or Ethereum on a whim and watched it multiply thousands of times over. A lot of them were young, with zero traditional financial background, just a willingness to take a risk everyone around them called reckless. What took real estate decades to build, crypto sometimes built in months, and sometimes lost just as fast. The inheritor is a different animal from old money entirely. They didn't grow up inside a dynasty. One large transfer of wealth, a parent, a grandparent, changed the entire shape of their life overnight. Some rise to the responsibility and grow it. A significant share lose most of it within a few years, because managing money turns out to be a skill nobody automatically inherits along with the check. The business owner rich never had a viral moment either. They opened one shop, one restaurant, one small operation, and reinvested every dollar of profit back into it for 20 years straight. Nobody writes documentaries about the second location, but by the time there are 12 locations, nobody's laughing anymore. Oil and resource-rich wealth comes from something the ground gives up, not something built from scratch. Entire family fortunes have been made from land that happened to sit on the right resource at the right time. It's the oldest form of luck turned into generational money, and it still quietly funds some of the largest fortunes on the planet today. Now here's the one nobody wants to admit they might be looking at when they picture rich. The debt rich. The leased car, the rented mansion, the credit limit dressed up as a lifestyle. From the outside, it's indistinguishable from real wealth. From the inside, it's one missed payment away from collapsing entirely. This is the type of rich that exists only in other people's perception. Influencer rich is the newest cousin of celebrity wealth, except the income stream is built on brand deals and audience trust instead of box office numbers. It can vanish the moment the algorithm changes its mind or the audience moves on to someone else. The smart ones diversify into actual products before that happens. The rest are one platform update away from starting over. Lottery rich is wealth with absolutely no skill attached to it at all, just a number pulled at random that changes someone's life in a single afternoon. Multiple studies on sudden windfalls have found a striking pattern. A huge share of lottery winners end up back near their original financial position within a few years because the money arrived faster than the habits needed to hold it. Art and collectibles rich people store their fortune in something most people can't even properly price: a painting, a rare watch, a vintage car sitting untouched in a private garage. The value is real, but it's also nearly impossible to spend quickly, which quietly forces this type into the same patience old money practices without even meaning to. Family dynasty rich is old money's more aggressive sibling. Think less quiet trust fund and more an entire empire still actively run by descendants generations later, like the family behind Walmart. The business itself becomes the inheritance, not just the balance sheet, and every generation is expected to keep the machine running, not just enjoy the output. And then there's the quiet rich, the type almost nobody pictures when they hear the word wealthy. Teachers, mechanics, accountants, ordinary people who spent 30 years saving and investing without a single dramatic moment attached to any of it. They drive used cars, they clip coupons. Their brokerage account tells an entirely different story than their driveway does. One study of over 200 millionaires found the single most common profile wasn't a founder or an heir at all. It was simply someone who never stopped saving. The most common type of rich person on Earth is also the one you'd never notice standing right next to you, which is exactly the point this whole video started with. If you've ever assumed you'd recognize wealth on sight, subscribe, because the next video might change what you're actually looking for.